Science in Context is available to all VSB staff and students. It provides an academic environment with a variety of curated resources. One of the things it does well is that it simplifies the process of searching for reliable sources. It has millions of full-text articles taken from hundreds of national and global newspapers, magazines, and journals. Now to begin, what you need is a username and a password. Now that we're in Gale Science in Context, what you can do is browse by topics, maps, and curriculum standards. So if we pick on a topic, we'll see the layout that it comes out with is it comes out with some information at the top about it. And then we have featured content, which will have articles. We have images, audio, we have newspaper articles and videos. And we also see a quick little summary here on the right showing the different things that will come up. If I click on a person or a place, what you'll find is you'll have the fact box show up just to the right. And so we have the summary as before at the top, and then just below here we have a fact box where it has some of the key points regarding the person or the place. And then again we have featured content, which we can take a look. Now one of the great things about Science in Context is that it does have reading levels, and so next to these articles, if you have journal or newspaper articles, when you come up with the list of these articles, you'll find symbols. We have the intermediate level, and so this would be early high school. We have the advanced level, which tends to be grades 11 and 12, and then we have the green circle, which I haven't shown you here, and this tends to be mid to later elementary and early high school. This really helps in terms of finding articles for your students because when we search, if we come back here to the beginning and we search, we're actually able to do advanced searches. And among the many things we can do advanced searches, we have keywords, document types, but we can also search by reading levels here. And so I could select basic, and that will really help your students out. When we find an article of interest, so let's just say here, you will notice the tools that we have along here. What we can do is we have a bookmark tool actually at the top. This bookmark tool comes up with the bookmark, and so if you select it, you can now copy and paste this to a document that you can be working on. One option that Gale Science in Context provides is that if you are a Google user and you'd like to log in, this will save a lot of the documents, citations, and so on directly onto your Google Drive. If you're not, then you can just copy into a Word document or whatever document you might be working on. As far as other options that what we have here, we have citation tools, and so this presents citations in two formats, MLA 7th edition and APA 6th edition. It also lets you export into citation apps, and for those of you who use that, or again, back to your Google Drive. We can easily email articles to ourselves or to someone else, and it'll actually send a complete article, which is really handy. What we can do is we can find part of the article that is of interest, and we can highlight it. And when you highlight, you can select the color, and so you can color code different sections. And we can also add notes. So when you're done with the article, it will be highlighted, you'll have notes, and so when you email it or you export as a PDF, this will remain on the article itself. Now, one thing I don't suggest you do is that you save to the My folder. It does provide that option, and it's usually problematic because we're sharing usernames and passwords throughout the district. You'll see that we have, under More, the My folder, which I've asked you to avoid. We have Search History, Dictionary, which is built in and helps students find terms. And we also have a Translate button. And so with this Translate, it enables us to change or to translate whatever article we happen to have into whatever language that we want. Now, in terms of accessibility, there's some great features about Science in Context. First of all, it often automatically reformats itself for the device we're using it on, and so it is easier to read on mobile devices than other websites. What we can also do is we can change the font size of certain articles. And over here on the right, we're able to increase the font size. And what we can also do is click the listen button, and so we can read the entire article, or we can select part of the article and play listen and have the article read back to us.
Attention Deficit Hyperactivity Disorder, ADHD.
Now, one thing that is actually really neat about this is not only do you listen to it, but when you click on the play
Hyperactivity
button, options will come up. And with the options, you can control volume, which is great, but you're also able to download this audio file as an MP3 so that you can actually listen to it on the way home if you want to. Another feature that is very helpful for the user is the search bar here at the top. And as I mentioned before, we can do an advanced search, but when we do search for something and we have the possible options come up, which we can turn off, and so if I click on an option and then a list of articles and different media come up, and so if I select one of them, one thing that I really like is that the search term comes up now in red. As you look through your articles, you also find that we have underlined terms, and what these are they're links to other articles. The last feature of Science in Context that I want to talk about is the curriculum standards. This is my favorite feature of Science in Context, because what it actually lets you do is it lets you find the IRPs for specific courses. So we see the different countries here and provincial standards, and what we can do is we can actually narrow things down and find our course and find units, and in the units we can actually find specific PLOs, and for these PLOs we can click on it and it'll take you to a list of related topics, articles, and so on.